Welcome back to the Hive Doctor, your beekeeping mentor. It's my job to take the guesswork out of beekeeping for you. Today we're going to be talking about 5 or 6, because I lost count, tips for you to be doing this winter as a beekeeper to prepare for the springtime. So stick around. One of the tasks that we need to do as beekeepers during the wintertime is to get our equipment ready for the spring. You don't want to wait too late to do that. The wintertime is the perfect time to do it anyways. So that could be by building more deep hive bodies, but in my case I've got 30 medium honey supers to build this winter, and then I've got to fill all of them with 10 medium honey super sized frames after that. Something I actually really enjoy. I've got my saw ready, my hammer, and they pretty much build themselves like you see here. But don't forget that you also need to paint things before springtime comes around too. So go ahead and build all of your equipment, stack it up, and then get ready to paint it. Painting hive equipment is perfect during the winter. You just want to make sure of a few things. One, try to paint somewhere where it's going to be above 55 degrees so the paint can actually cure and set right on the equipment. 2, choose your color. Make sure it's something not too dark that's going to absorb a lot of summer heat and make the hive have to work that much harder to cool things down inside, especially the brood nest. Personally, I like my yellow color that I get from Home Depot. It's an exterior flat or matte, whatever, I don't know. It's an exterior paint. It's a paint that I want to be able to stand up to the elements. So I've actually got my can here, and this is the box we just built inside magically. So I'm just going to paint it real quick, and the only thing you want to do is just make sure you paint the entire outside. You don't need to paint the inside because the bees will actually coat the inside of the box with propolis, making it waterproof anyways, and antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. Plus, you don't want to paint the inside because bees chew on the wooden surfaces. You don't want them chewing on this paint because it's probably going to be toxic to the bees. So let's go ahead and just paint this box up real quick. Okay, now we're done with that. So this yellow color distinguishes my beehives from most other beekeepers. A lot of people think you have to paint your hives white. It's not necessary, but white does reflect a lot of sunlight. But I like something that sets my stuff apart. And I recommend you do something too, you know, something that makes it fun. Another big thing you want to make sure that you do is thinking ahead, of course. Do I want to make splits in the spring? Well, in my case, I do. I'm still growing my numbers to the amount of hives that I want to try my best to keep on a regular basis. So I have a lot of deep hive bodies that need to be cleaned up and get those ready for springtime. So any of my unused equipment, I'm going to go through frame by frame and clean up the beeswax on all 4 sides of the frame so that the frames fit in there. I'm going to scrape off the propolis between the end bars that the bees have built up in there so that my frames fit in the box right, so that when it comes time to make splits, I've got a box ready to go. If you want to see how you can clean up your own boxes, check out my video through the link somewhere on this screen, and it will show you each step of how to clean up your boxes and your frames to help you be ready for the springtime and making splits. Another thing you want to do is to stack all of your unused equipment. I've got primarily deep hive bodies right here that I need to go through and clean up this wintertime. And on the top I've got some honey supers that went unused as well. But you'll notice I've got them kind of stagger stacked. This is a good example of it. I stacked the first row here, second row a little bit further back. I want the cold winter airflow to be able to flow through these boxes. That will keep out wax moths. It will also deter rodents from moving in and making a home. Mice will chew right through a frame, they'll chew through the sides of a box, they'll really tear up your equipment. And something even more effective to do to help keep rodents out of your stacked equipment is to stack it up off of the ground. I've got mine on, I've got a couple of cinder blocks with 2x4s running across them. I've got everything stacked on those. Plus, you could put down your unused excluders and stack your boxes right on top of those queen excluders, preferably the metal ones, because the mice are not likely to chew through the metal excluders like they will the plastic ones. I have seen pack rats chew right through metal before, but it's never been an issue when it comes to my beekeeping equipment. So when it comes to your equipment in general, you've already seen 3 tips now. You want to rebuild, repaint, and repair anything that needs that attention during this winter so that everything's ready in the springtime. Another great thing to do to prepare yourself for spring during the wintertime is going to be to build yourself some swarm traps. Set those in the yard somewhere around 6 to 8 feet up off the ground. It's great along fence lines, tree lines, anywhere within a few hundred yards of your apiary, because bees love to fly a little bit of a distance before they set up home, either temporary or permanent. I caught quite a few swarms last year just because I set up swarm traps, and it's likely that they were cast-off swarms from my own bees. But apiaries also attract bees from other locations to your bees. Bees are attracted to bees, so you may end up catching one of your neighbor's swarms. And according to the Beekeeper Code of Conduct, swarms are up for grabs. Whoever calls them first gets them. One of the best things about setting up a swarm trap is going to be free bees. Just make sure you put it in an area that's easy to get to and that you keep an eye on it. You want to take a swarm trap down about a week after the swarm has moved in. No longer than that, because a swarm will get heavy fast, and it might be too heavy for you to work on up on the top of a ladder, which is why I say don't go anywhere above 8 feet. And of course, the best thing that you can do for yourself and your beekeeping operation during the wintertime is pause and reflect. This is a great time to decide what your goals are for the springtime, for the upcoming beekeeping season. What do you want to do? The answer to that question is what's going to dictate your tasks and tell you exactly what you need to do now to get ready for later. You'll be on top of things, and you'll most likely tweak those goals as you go along, but that's okay. As beekeepers, we're always changing up what we're doing, but it's generally for the better, trying ideas out, seeing if they work, if they fail, tweaking, improving, and always for the better for ourselves and our bees. That's what makes beekeeping so much fun. I'd love to hear if you have any tips for the winter, some of the things that you like to do to get ready. Put them in the comments below, drop me one of these, and don't forget to tell your friends about the Hive Doctor. I'll see you in the next video.